This is for Keith Davis Jr., this is for Tawanda Jones. This is for all the blacks that are suffering behind the state's attorney, Marilyn Mosby, Greg Bernstein, and Scott Shellenberger. I gave a hypothesis back in 2007. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? It was a social scientific experiment about race and racism in your courts and how you use your courts to demonize black America. Now, y'all let the Baltimore City and Morgan State Police Department murder Tyrone West, Anthony Anderson, Maurice Donald Johnson, all right, Marcella Holloman's son. Those are just 3 cases that I've been involved in over the last 10 years, since 2006, all right? Those are just the 3 cases. You trying Keith Davis for the 6th time. I tried to take y'all to court and dismantle y'all's corruption machine back in 2011. I blew the whistle on Scott Shellenberger, Greg Bernstein, and the money y'all was making off of locking up black bodies since 2006. Gov.O'Malley, Brian Frost, Doug Gansler. I did this by myself as an independent filmmaker, as an independent artist, art and activism. I was using social media for social change. MySpace, I started on MySpace, went from MySpace to Facebook, Facebook to YouTube, YouTube to Twitter, Twitter to Instagram, and I'm still in your face, my man. Now this for Kelly Davis, this for Tawanda Jones, and this is for anybody that's black in Baltimore. We need access to the grand jury under Senate Bill 374. We don't need to keep putting our hats in our hands asking for fucking permission. We need to access the grand jury the same way that you put the grand jury on us. We need to use it for us. Use it for us. The grand jury is designed to protect the citizens' rights. Now, I've been asking to access the grand jury since 2006. I blew the whistle on you in 2011. You locked me up in 2 states for exposing your corruption in your courts because of the money you make off of black bodies. Y'all don't want Keith Davis free because that's a slap in your face. That's exposing your racism. You got the Stockholm Syndrome, and too many of you wrong with what's going on in Baltimore. I'm not from Baltimore. I'm from Zion, Illinois. I didn't go to Poly. I went to the penitentiary. I graduated from the Department of Corrections, the institution of Joliet Correctional Facilities. You understand? I'm an inmate. I'm a convict. I'm an ex-felon. My fight and the struggle is inmates' rights, homelessness. I'm an activist. I'm not a terrorist. I'm registered to vote. I not only registered to vote, I ran for office. I ran against Governor Hogan in 2014. This is 2009 when like I said, Kelly, Tawanda, PFK Boom, all of y'all, I show you that blacks have no rights in the court system. Frank Conway's father, Frank Conway Sr., destroyed evidence in 2009. This evidence right here. It was a hearing for the courts and to take your courts to court. All right? So I put it all together in a packet and I gave it to President Obama. President Obama was Senator Obama in 2008. He asked for an investigation because I was locked up in another state. I was kidnapped by the state of Illinois because I wanted to expose the war on drugs. Now, William Beeston III used to be at St. Paul's or Gilman's. He went to a private school and he used to go to my store on Falls Road. Then he went to Fox 45. Sinclair Broadcasting, David Smith been knowing about this from the beginning because when they was building David Smith's house over on Ivy Hill Lane off of Falls Road, his contractors used to come in my store. I voted, and y'all voted for this shit. He gave us the audacity of hope. Then y'all fucked around and voted for President Trump. Y'all voted for Trump. So I'm to the same. I'm giving Trump the whistleblower's application. Y'all said that y'all wanted corruption. President Trump said he wanted corruption. I'm going to give him the corruption. I'm going to tell him to go to your office, Mary Washington, and we're going to talk about the corruption in the Democratic Party. We're going to go to your office, and we're going to open this book up. This is the Public Justice Center. Raleigh Hayes used to work for the Public Justice Center. And Raleigh Hayes, Trey Murphy, Michaela, and that block group knew all about this. You feel me? But you talk about you standing up for black people, but you ain't doing nothing for black people. You putting that money in your pockets. That's called sellout activism. And y'all sellouts. Raleigh Hayes. I'm calling y'all out in 2020 because ain't nobody going to get no cut cards. I got a nice packet, and that packet is very, very well detailed. See the date? So Kelly, I've been fighting this fight. Civil Division, 2011, Circuit Court of Baltimore City. That's Judge Pearson. So I'm showing you how your judges protect your corruption. That's Judge Pearson. That's me. That's Spring Grove Medical Facility. Y'all was using opioids and other medications on inmates as test rats, like the Tuskegee Airmen. Y'all was doing that at Spring Grove. You're doing it in Baltimore City, Baltimore County. You doing it in the Department of Corrections, period. Like I said, my paperwork in order. Mr. Conway, I respectfully request that you return all the material pertaining to case number 24C10009191. That was a $54 million lawsuit to bring the courts to justice. It was exposing the money you make behind the corruption in your courts. Civil Division, March 2011. I wrote this while I was in jail to Judge Pearson. While I was in jail, Clarence Mitchell Jr. celebrated. All right, that's Clarence Mitchell Jr. All black ain't black, and that black man been selling out the black community since he took an oath of office. He's working to sell out he's not only working, he's been selling out the black community. Clarence Mitchell Jr. been knowing about this since the beginning. We talking about justice. Black faces selling out the black community. That's one of them. You done seen 1,000 videos where I confront him. Now you go to his email, Clarence Mitchell, to ddshortman@gmail.com. I'm going to show you what black in America is. Black faces selling out selling out black America. $118. That's page 118. Stayed in the city, VA, registered. That's my attorney-client privilege. So I'm getting ready to set up my anchor broadcast. I do anchor broadcast every morning from 8 to 8:30, or 30 minutes a day. And it's about exposing the corruption and the racism by black politicians, by our elected officials. It's about being black in America. The Stockholm Syndrome. The haves versus the have-nots. So Nick Mosby, Marilyn Mosby, Delegate Smith, Tony Bridges. The city gonna know what you've been doing. I know what you did last summer. Ghosts from your past is gonna open up the doors to my future. You got skeletons in your closet, and I'm getting ready to shake them out.
Stokes says that the black community has been disproportionately impacted by this virus.
Stokes is sitting here playing this race card, and Stokes been selling out the black community forever. He getting a second chance at this shit. Stokes been selling you out. You have Stokes and Bill Henry. Stokes and Bill Henry. We're going to talk about Councilman Stokes, Bill Henry. We're going to talk about Mary Pat Clark. We're going to talk about Nick Mosby when he was councilman. We're going to talk about Jack Young. Because see, when I started this in my store on Falls Road. And I started it with white people. I did it for 13 years on Falls Road. Then I started in the city. City, county, state, and federal levels. I'm going to tie all y'all together. And I'm going to do it with them toilets. Now you go to Rachel Aragon from Fox 45. I gave her a flash drive. I gave her this flash drive. Now everything on this flash drive, you can go to Keifer Mitchell, Governor Hogan's office. Everything on this flash drive, Keifer Mitchell got. Keifer Mitchell got it. Delegate Attenberry got it. Vanessa Attenberry got it. Delegate Clippinger got it. Congressman Cummings got it. So Kwasi Mfume, me and you got to deal with this. Like I said, I voted for Kwasi Mfume. So when Kwasi Mfume is sworn in. So Monday morning, I'm knocking on Kwasi Mfume's door. When I knock on his door, I want my whistleblower application addressed. And then to ensure that you address my whistleblower's application, Kwasi, this is a Jailhouse Diary. February the 2nd, 2011. And this is my whistleblower's application. All right. I'm sending this and that to President Trump. This is going to President Trump. You feel me? It's going to President Trump. So Kwasi, talk to Anthony McCarthy. Anthony McCarthy will tell you about what I've been doing. Go to your scheduling secretary, Gene Wiskowski in Washington, D.C. Get the emails from Gene. Get the emails from your community liaison here in Baltimore City, Harry Spikes Jr., and put my name on the list. I want to testify in front of the House Judiciary Committee. I want to talk about racism. I want to talk about corruption. But we want to talk about what's on this disc, this flash. We want to talk about this paperwork. So Raleigh Hayes, leaders of a beautiful struggle, let's talk about being black in Baltimore. Stop selling out the black community for money. Stop selling out the black community for money, claiming to be black leadership. I'm going to pull y'all's card. And if anything that I say is wrong, pull my card. Because ain't nobody pulled my card yet. Calling me crazy don't mean shit. Because my paperwork is legit.